And
Good
we
afternoon.
are ready to get started.
I'm Mark Kimball, Chair of the Citizens Clean Elections Commission. It's 3 p.m. on Tuesday, August 4th, 2026. I call this meeting of the Citizens Clean Elections Commission to order. With that, we will take attendance. Commissioners, please identify yourselves for the record.
Christina
Dylan
Werther,
Payton.
Sam Crump.
I heard Commissioner Crump, Commissioner Payton, Commissioner Werther. We have a quorum. Also present are Tom Collins, the Executive Director of the Arizona Citizens Clean Elections Commission, and Craig Morgan from Taft Law, acting solely as the Commission's independent legal advisor. Item 2, discussion and possible action on request to withdraw from Clean Elections Funding Program. The purpose of this special meeting is to consider the requests we received from Dr. Ralph Heap regarding withdrawing from the Citizens Clean Election Funding Program. Our rules provide a tight timeline for considering this question. For those of you joining us in the meeting and the live stream, the order of this item will be as follows. First, we will hear from Tom Collins, Executive Director of the Clean Elections Commission. Second, we will hear from Dr. Heap or whomever is appearing on his behalf. Next, we will take public comments on this item. Please keep your mic or phone on mute until we ask for your comment. We also have some written comments that the commissioners have received. One member of the commission has a hard stop at 5 p.m., so we will be mindful of that and manage time accordingly. At any point, the members of the commission may vote to go into executive session to seek legal advice from our independent legal advisor, Craig Morgan. Depending upon the complexity of the issue, we may go into executive session more than once. Neither the public nor Mr. Lasota nor the executive director will be permitted in executive session. I will start now by asking Tom Collins to discuss this matter. Tom? Tom, I believe you're on mute.
I am. Thank you. Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, I don't have too much. I think the procedural history is, I think, outlined in the materials. We have the request is, excuse me, I'm having a computer issue here. I apologize. Bear with me 1 second while I get my sorry. So, I mean, I think the procedural history is outlined in the materials that we provided on Friday. We have the request from that Mr. Lasota filed. Dr. Heap became a participating candidate in March during the first week of July. Dr. Heap submitted his qualifying contributions for review. On July 20th, the Secretary of State notified both Dr. Heap and the Commission staff that he had qualified for Clean Elections funding. And that day, I sent a letter to Mr. Lasota respecting the qualification and the withholding under Rule R220-106A. At that point, and then on the July 31st request, I received from Mr. Lasota came in, and that's really the basic procedural history. I'm happy to answer any questions if you have any.
Thank you, Tom. Do any members of the commission have any questions for Tom at this time? Hearing none. I don't know if Dr. Heap is with us. I see Mr. Lasota, his attorney, is with us. Mr. Lasota, do you want to speak on Mr. Heap's behalf?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I would.
Okay, proceed.
Okay. Well, I'd ask that the commission approve our request to withdraw. I think it is simply a ministerial act on the part of the commission. One thing I would take issue with what Mr. Collins said is we've qualified for funding. Actually, what he's told me is that he thinks that we might not be able to participate in the funding program, and we might have to we might not be funded based on the complaint that was filed. So I don't know where anyone gets that we've qualified for funding. We've not. We've not been provided any funding. We've been told that there's at least some possibility we won't ever get funding. So in the meantime, we are here. And Mr. Collins also points out that as a participant in this program, we are not allowed to raise private funds. So that's the position we are here today. Obviously, Dr. Heap raised the $5 contributions, but as circumstances have intervened, and with the election very close, early ballots drop in about 2 months, there's simply not time to kind of hang around and follow whatever process awaits us. Obviously, this is what Dr. Heap's been accused of is sort of a commonplace in campaigns where sometimes at least just taking the accusations as if they were true, it's certain parts of the campaign get ahead of themselves. So it's very much a garden variety accusation. But regardless, Dr. Heap has decided it's time to move on from the participating candidate status. That is his right, and this commission should approve his request. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Lasota. Just for the record, Dr. Heap is not present. Is that correct?
That's correct, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you.
But I am his counsel. I don't think I said that. So I represent Dr. Heap.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Lasota.
Chairman Kimball, you're on mute.
Thank you. This time we will take public comment on this item. We will ask that speakers identify themselves for the record and limit their comments to no more than 3 minutes. If you are a member of the public and wish to make a comment, please use the raise hand feature in Zoom, and I will call on individuals one at a time. To raise your hand in Zoom, click the react icon in the bottom toolbar and select raise hand. When your name is called, please unmute yourself and state your full name for the record before beginning your comments. Please note that commissioners may have questions for you. Is there any member of the public who wishes to make a comment? The first person I see on my screen is Gina Swoboda. Ms. Swoboda?
Good afternoon. Thank you, members of the commission. I'm Gina Swoboda. I was recently a statewide candidate, privately funded for Secretary of State. I'm a certified elections officer in Arizona, and I used to serve at the Secretary of State's office certifying clean elections candidates. My comment is brief. Traversing the state, as I did as a statewide candidate, I am a person who purchased 1,100 campaign signs, and everywhere I went, I saw Mr. Heap's signs. They went up in tandem with my primary opponent sign, so that's why I paid particular attention to that. So the expenditure was quite large. Having served in the Secretary of State and being an election officer, I think it would be very damaging to the clean elections process in the state of Arizona should a candidate who ran as a clean elections candidate be permitted to win a primary, fail to comply with the campaign finance regulations as a clean elections candidate, and simply walk away and withdraw. At the time I served in the Secretary of State under R220-104C, candidates needed to file their application for certification in order for us to process their qualifying contribution. I'm not sure if that was done or not, but if that has already happened, then Dr. Heap submitted himself at that point for a second time to the rules and the campaign finance regulations of the Clean Elections Program. So my request, such as it is as a member of the public to the commission, is to not allow Mr. Heap to walk away from the commitment he made running as a clean elections candidate and to subject him to the fines that the program calls for. And in the event that Mr. Heap does not wish to comply with the fines under 942A, 16942A, that the candidate be permitted to withdraw from the ballot completely and then have his fines at that point waived. And that's it for me. And I thank you again so much for your time. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ms. Swoboda. Next up, I see on my screen, Nick Myers. Mr. Myers?
Yes, thank you. Good afternoon, Chairman and Commissioners. My name is Nick Myers. I am currently serving as the Chairman of the Arizona Corporation Commission, and I'm the immediate past candidate in this race. I'm here today to comment on the complaint regarding the alleged unlawful purchase of approximately 1,000 campaign signs by Ralph Heap. Campaigns for down ballot offices like the ACC are decided disproportionately on name recognition. Signage is often the single largest driver of that recognition, especially in the final weeks of the race. An advantage of 1,000 illegally funded signs isn't insignificant. In a race of this size, it's substantial and it's likely decisive. I was a direct competitor in this race, which was decided by roughly 1.5% of the vote. Given a margin that narrow, I believe it's reasonable to conclude the outcome would plausibly have been different without these illegally purchased or acquired signs. The Clean Elections law recognizes that serious violations by publicly financed candidates warrant serious consequences, including removal from office, as this commission has ruled in comparable cases before. Accordingly, as the candidate who was most impacted by Mr. Heap's misconduct, I'm asking the commission to pursue the full penalty available under law and not set enforcement aside. Given the scale of this violation, I believe Mr. Heap should voluntarily withdraw from the race. That said, I recognize that this decision rests with him, not with me or the commission. Therefore, should he choose to withdraw in a timely manner so that the process established by statute to identify a replacement may be completed within the allotted time, that's a fact the commission may reasonably weigh at its own discretion in considering whether any leniency is warranted. But leniency should only be considered if Mr. Heap does the right thing by voluntarily withdrawing from the race. I also want to raise something directly relevant to your assessment. It's widely believed that the individuals who advised this scheme are the same individuals who approached me 4 years ago with a substantially similar, if not identical, proposal. I declined because I understood at the time that it was unlawful. If my belief is accurate, it speaks to a pattern, not an isolated lapse, and I believe it needs to be brought fully to light through a sworn affidavit process if he chooses to cooperate. And finally, should he wish to fully cooperate, including a sworn affidavit disclosing who directed this conduct, who financed it, and what agreements are made, I believe that genuine, complete disclosure is a factor that this commission may reasonably weigh in its determination. Thank you for your time, and thank you for your attention to this matter.
Thank you, Mr. Myers. Next, we have Vincent Law. Am I pronouncing your name right, sir?
Yes, you have, Mark. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Law, you can proceed.
Yeah, good afternoon, Chair and Commissioners. My name is Vincent Law. I'm a concerned Republican voter. And I believe the commission should deny Mr. Heap's request to withdraw from clean elections. In addition, I also believe he should be held to the maximum consequences, which includes fines and potentially disqualification. I believe that if he is found to have violated Arizona Revised Statutes Title 16, Section 942C, I believe he should be disqualified before the ballots are printed. In addition to the locations documented by Lisa Everett, I personally saw heap signs at locations including State Route 87 in McDowell, Greenway Hayden in Scottsdale, and Shea and Tatum. I have also repeatedly, like others, seen heap signs placed neatly along signs for Kimberly Yee and Alex Culloden, who are backed by the same political organizations. That raises an obvious question: were the signs printed or installed by the same vendor or organization? Yee and Culloden each reported roughly $70,000 in sign spending. Heap, on the other hand, reported only $600. That enormous difference deserves an explanation. The commission should determine who ordered heap signs and who paid for them. Furthermore, clean elections cannot become a risk-free gambit. A candidate should not be able to enter the program, campaign as a participating candidate, and then try to quit when asked to sign a sworn statement saying that their reports are correct. This matters especially for a corporation commission. The CorpCom's Code of Ethics makes certain demands of non-clean elections candidates when it comes to conflicts of interest. I believe former Commissioner Justin Olson created this ethics rule so that Arizonans could have faith in their elected commissioners. As Arizonans, we must preserve clean elections as an effective way of reducing conflicts of interest and the appearance of conflicts in our elected officials. A law without enforcement is not a law at all. So I urge, again, the commission to deny his request to withdraw. And if the facts satisfy the statutory requirements for disqualification, the commission ought to pursue it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Law. Next, Tom Ryan. Mr. Ryan.
Thank you, Chair. Members of the Commission, Executive Director, Mr. Collins. I also speak in opposition of Dr. Heap's petition to withdraw as a clean elections candidate. Look, he could have chosen to privately fund his campaign. He chose not to. Instead, he sought money from the Clean Election Campaign. He chose to run as a clean election candidate. The rules are easy to understand. They're very public. Anybody can read them. It's meant to, the rules are designed so anybody could follow them and run for office. That's the whole point. On July 20th, the Secretary of State's office notified not only Dr. Heap, but the members of the Clean Election Commission that Dr. Heap had submitted enough valid qualifying contributions to qualify for public funding. And that is an important fact here. It's the fact that Dr. Heap qualified for the funding. It's not the receipt of the money, it's the qualification that is the standard here. The most important part of this is the failure to file under penalty of perjury with a notarized statement that Dr. Heap has complied with all the financial requirements in order to receive those funds. When I hear counsel for Dr. Heap say, well, circumstances intervened, that's just code for we declined to file under oath, under penalty of perjury, the financial statements. Dr. Heap and his counsel, Dr. Heap and his counsel have, Dr. Heap and his counsel have the opportunity to remedy the problem here. All they have to do is file the notarized statement under penalty of perjury and say that they've complied or not complied. If they haven't complied, then they still can run as a candidate, but there may be penalties for that. But the idea of allowing them to withdraw and defeating the investigation just simply sanctions dishonesty and cheating in elections, which is contrary to the whole role of clean elections. So it's easy. All Dr. Heap has to do is to comply with AAC R2106A, submit the affidavit under oath under penalty of perjury and have it notarized, and then let the investigation go. If circumstances intervene that are easy to explain away, then there's no problem. Dr. Heap doesn't have anything to worry about. But if, as there have been credibly suggested, that there was more than just a thumb, but a whole cow put on the scales of justice here to weigh in favor of Dr. Heap, then that investigation should go forward by this entity. And for those reasons, because he holds the power to remedy these situations, he's declining to do so. I'm asking that you decline to withdraw, decline the petition, withdraw, and to continue the investigation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Ryan. Next, Nancy Hawkins. Ms. Hawkins?
Can you hear me?
Y-
Okay,
Yes, we can, Ms. Hawkins. You can
Okay.
proceed.
okay. Well, I was having problems here, so I have two devices going. So in addition, my name is Nancy Hawkins. I am a resident of Pinal County. I've written out a statement. In addition to the many hats I wear in my personal life, I am a proud member of the Pinal County Republican Committee, where I have served as a past chair, and I am now serving as the organization's second vice chair. I have given much of my time and energy in helping conservatives get elected over many election cycles. As was stated in Lisa Everett's complaint during the primary election season, I saw dozens of Ralph Heap signs go up throughout Pinal County. Seeing this quantity of signs was confusing, as I know from my involvement in the party that Mr. Heap had not qualified for his clean elections money when these signs went up. When it became public that Mr. Heap's second quarter campaign report did not reflect any kind of expenditure on signs, I was troubled, as I knew the number of signs purchased by Mr. Heap would likely sway the race, and I ended up being right. Our party has put down a marker on how important election integrity is. I believe if we do not police ourselves, we have no grounds to stand on to lecture the other side about election fraud. In light of the facts that we know, and this action likely swayed the Corporation Commission race, I implore that the Clean Elections Commission use the full power authorized by state statute to penalize Mr. Heap. Number one would be, with the independent expenditure support Mr. Heap has received, allowing him to simply leave clean elections would be too lenient of a penalty. Forcing him to stay in the program, not awarding him his clean election funding, and fining him 10 times his illegal expenditure would be a strong deterrent for future illegal behavior. Or second, the commission could consider waiving penalties if Mr. Heap decides to leave the race of his own accord. Any penalty or settlement with Mr. Heap should also require him to provide detailed accounting of how his signs were purchased and if an agent of his campaign made the purchase on his behalf. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Ms. Hawkins. Next, we have a gentleman whose name I can't make out, TJMON.
Yeah, apologize. Tyler Montague.
Okay. Could you state your full name and spell it for the record before you proceed?
Yeah, Tyler Montague, Tyler. Montague is Montague.
Thank you. Proceed.
Members of the commission, thank you for listening. I think I can envision a scenario in which Dr. Heap didn't have ill intent and through carelessness or bad advice got into the situation. He's operated on my mom and my dad. He's not a terrible person. However, the harm here is clear. He won by a small margin against a candidate that was following the rules, and Dr. Heap was not. And I think it's very reasonable to assume that the victory is attributable to the unfair, the violations of the rules that are alleged and seem to be well supported. I think that could possibly apply to signatures as well, knowing market rates and how difficult it is to get those. That is something that should be investigated, not just the signs. I think the harm is also, and why I think the commission should act swiftly and firmly, is to the clean elections themselves. If the playbook is cheap, if you get away with it, you're good. If you get caught, you just withdraw, and there's no harm, no foul. If that becomes the playbook, then that's a harm to the entire clean elections process. And so if Dr. Heap withdraws all the way from the race, I think that is fair. And I would not mind if any sort of penalty were waived in that scenario. That it would be justice to put it back in his hands. If he is allowed to exit the program, I think significant penalties should be imposed so that there is a deterrent in the future, and that this scenario is not rewarded. Or if he stays, the same would have to be with significant penalties. I just think that it would hurt the integrity of the process. Also, we should find out who was directing these expenditures and giving these advice. I don't think vendors are responsible, but consultants perhaps should be investigated. That's what I have to say. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Mr. Montague. Is there anyone else who wishes to make a comment? Either raise your hand or wave your hand at the camera, or do something to get my attention, and we will call upon you. I don't see anyone else.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like a couple minutes of rebuttal.
Yes,
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Lasota, I'm going to do that as soon as I make sure no one else is waiting to speak. Kathy, do you see anyone else?
I do not.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Mr. Lasota.
Sorry, I had to unmute. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You know, the one thing I'd point out is we've had a lot of comments about he shouldn't just be able to walk away. I mean, I think people are misunderstanding the import of what Dr. Heap is doing, and comments like, oh, well, you know, if you can just take the money and spend money on the signs and then withdraw later. Well, he hasn't gotten any money from clean elections. And he's simply seeking to withdraw. If you withdraw as a candidate, I mean, you still have to file campaign finance reports, and you can still be penalized for violations of campaign finance laws. I mean, I think that a lot of people on this call simply do not comprehend either of those two facts. And, you know, this notion of we're going to make him stay as a candidate so he won't receive any funding and he can't raise any money. And I mean, that's just untenable. It would be illegal. It's not fair to a candidate to say, we're not giving you any money, but you can't withdraw. And while you're a candidate, or while you're a participating candidate, even though you don't want to be a participating candidate, you cannot raise private funds, which is essentially what the people advocating against this request have stated. So I think we have the right to withdraw. It's in the rules. This business about there's a difference between qualifying and disbursement, that's a bunch of hooey. If we had qualified, where's our check? Where's our money? We've not, and we've been told we may not receive any money from the executive director. So how that qualifies as qualified in anyone's parlance escapes me. So thank you, Mr. Chairman, and we'd respectfully request that Dr. Heap's request be approved by this commission.
Thank you, Mr. Lasota. Tom Collins, is there anything you want to say?
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, I'm not sure that it adds any value for me to get into a thing around what I've said to Mr. Lasota and the context of that. I don't think it actually serves any value. My letter says what it says. That part I think is cut and dry. Beyond that, I don't think there's anything that I would add.
Okay, thank you, Tom. Is there any member of the commission that wishes to make a motion to go into executive session at this time?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to move that we go into executive session for this item.
Thank you, Commissioner Werther. Is there a second?
I'll second it, Peyton.
Thank you, Commissioner Payton. It's been moved and seconded that we go into executive session. I will call the roll. Commissioner Werther,
Aye.
Commissioner Payton,
Aye.
Commissioner Crump.
Aye.
Commissioner Titla has not joined us, has he? No. Okay. Chair votes aye. The vote is 4-0. We will go into an executive session. And when we finish, we will be back here. Thank you.
Chairman Kimball, can you please confirm who should join executive session?
The 4 commissioners and Mr. Morgan.
Thank you.
So Kathy, are we back in regular session?
Yes.
Thank you. When we started the meeting today, we talked about the purpose of the meeting was to deal with a request from Dr. Heap regarding withdrawing from Clean Elections funding program. During the comments from the public and from other members who have interest in this, there's been a lot of other things brought up besides this about what's going to happen next. There's been talk about fines. And I'd just like to ask Mr. Morgan to clarify once more what we are here to decide today. Nothing more, nothing less. Mr. Morgan.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the commission. My name is Craig Morgan of Taft, Stettinius, and Hollister. I'm your independent legal advisor. The sole issue before the commission today is whether to accept or deny the request from Dr. Heap through his lawyer to no longer participate as a clean candidate. Issues related to sanctions, misconduct, alleged misconduct, investigations, complaints, none of that's before you. None of that should be considered in any way, shape, or form as it relates to the decision that you need to make today. Those issues, if and when they arise, they will be and should be addressed then. They are not issues before you today. Today, the sole issue is based on the law and the commission's rules, whether it can or does, I should say, accept the withdrawal request. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Morgan. Does any member of the commission wish to make a motion whether to approve Dr. Heap's request?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to
Commissioner Morgan.
move to deny the request by Dr. Ralph Heap to withdraw as a participating candidate under the Arizona Citizens Clean Elections Act.
Thank you, Commissioner Werther. Is there a second?
I'll second it, Peyton.
I heard Mr. Crump first, Commissioner Crump second. It's been moved and seconded that we deny Mr. Heap's request to withdraw from the Clean Elections Program. I will call the roll. Commissioner Werther,
Aye.
Commissioner Payton,
Aye.
Commissioner Crump.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. The motion is approved 4-0. We now move to item 3, public comment. This is the time for consideration of comments and suggestions from the public. Action taken as a result of public comment will be limited to directing staff to study the matter, rescheduling it for further consideration, or responding to criticism. Please limit your comments to no more than 2 minutes. Does any member of the public wish to comment? I'm not seeing anyone asking to comment. Public may also submit comments by email at ccec@azcleanelections.gov. Item 4, adjournment. If there's no further business, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Chairman, I move to adjourn.
Thank you, Commissioner Werther. Is there a second?
Second, Peyton.
Thank you, Commissioner Payton. It's been moved and seconded that we adjourn. I will call the roll. Commissioner Werther,
Aye.
Commissioner Payton,
Aye.
Commissioner Crump.
Aye.
Chair